guys, welcome back to Matt Catches, and as you can see I am back on the fishing location. This lake's only a little lake, it's still my local area. My current fishing location that I've been fishing is frozen over, and as you can see behind me, this is frozen over, but there's a little corner that isn't frozen over and I've managed to get on, so I'm going to be fishing here. I'll talk you through the rigs and that before we cast in. And this lake, there's a lot of fish in here. I think there's about 250 fish. But I think the biggest one goes up to about 21 pounds. They're only small fish, but it's good for a run this water. Thought it'd be a good place to come. We haven't fished here before, and hopefully we'll have a fish seeing there's that many fish. I'm just going to be fishing with sweet corn, so I'm going to get my rods in. I'm just going to show you the rig, throw a couple of handfuls of bait in, and fingers crossed we can have a fish. Right, so the rig I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be fishing with a Ronnie 360 rig with a couple of pieces of pop-up corn, and they will act as almost a wafter with this size 4 hook on. And I'm hoping that is enough because it's not buoying in the face, showing off, and it's not just sitting there on the bottom, it is just wafting about. I'm hoping that will mimic almost with the fish, because they'll be lazy because the water's freezing, and hopefully they'll see it, and it's not just bright there, it's just there for them, nice. I'm going to be throwing a couple of handfuls of sweet corn around it, and I've got some mainline essential sal goo which I'm going to be putting onto the sweet corn as a bit more of an attractor, because that's got a lot of sweet, a lot of flavour in it, and it will sit there, cover the bottom in a little yellow patch, so the fish can see it and it will just attract them, hopefully just enough that it will bring us a fish. So I'm going to cast both the rods in now, mix up a bit of sweet corn, throw that in, and fingers crossed we can have a fish out. Right, well, I just cast it into the ice thinking, oh, it'll just break and I could pull the lead through it and open myself up a line to cast in. Well, as you can see, it didn't work and I'm now hooked into the ice, so I'm going to try and free this and hopefully it doesn't snap off. Now for the second rod. Right, so got another pot noodle. I've got a fusion chili chicken this time, so let's give that a try. I've just had it cooked. The kettle's just been on, gonna make a cup of tea in a minute, so see how this rates to the original curry. You know what, that's loads better than the original curry last time. I'm definitely going with these this time. It's got a bit of a kick to it, a nice bit of heat. It's a really nice flavour, so I think I'm gonna eat this, watch the water for any fish, and hopefully we can bag ourselves a carp. So I'll see you when something interesting is happening. Right, it's gone very cold, very fast, and I'm just going to throw some sweet corn in here, mix up with a bit of the mainline essential sal goo. Just going to catapult a couple of catapultfuls out, not putting loads of bait in because the fish will be cold and they won't be eating as much. So just a bit of bait in, hopefully that'll do the trick and land us a fish. Right guys, it's currently about 5:30 and it's gone quite cold, as you can probably see from my breath, or maybe not, and I'm just going to throw the overwrap onto my brolly to stop this breeze, because the breeze is blowing right into the back of my brolly and it's like a damp breeze, so it's getting all my stuff wet and it is pretty chilly. So I'm going to get the overwrap on now, and I've just seen behind me the moon looks absolutely amazing. I've had some amazing sunsets so far. Get this overwrap on, get some tea on, warm up a bit, and hopefully we can catch a fish. Right, well, I've just had my cup of tea and some chocolate biscuits. Just going to recast my right hand rod. I'm going to cast it up to, there's a little pier. I'm moving for about 5 foot off the front of that pier because there is supposed to be a deep spot where I can cast in, and I'm thinking the fish might be sheltered because that is the deepest part of the lake. And do you know what I found out since I put this overwrap on my bivvy? it feels 1,000 times better when you're fishing and you're sheltered. You can't beat you. When you're nice warm, you tend to do more because you're feeling nice and warm and you're feeling active, and that can lead to catching more fish. Because I wasn't originally going to cast my rod out, so I'll try and warm up, put my overwrap on. I feel fine now, so we're not sitting here shivering. I feel nice and warm. Just go recast my rod out, get some tea on, and yeah, I just think shelter, bait, most important things. You can have comfort and bait, and obviously your fishing tactics. But yeah, enough waffle. Let's get that rod out now. Perfect. Take a look at them, absolutely beautiful sausage butties. Pairing them up with a bit of Daddy's brown sauce. So let's get a bit more, little dollop of that on the plate. There we go, smack bang in the middle. Nice little dollop of that to go along with the sausage butties. Can't beat that meal. Just had a cup of tea. Gonna eat these, watch the water, see if we can see any fish jump. Now the ice has melted back a couple of foot, but it's nothing massive. And I've got the rods in now. I've had a bleep on the left hand rod, but no pickup full runs yet. So I'm going to eat these. Hopefully we can have a fish, because that's what we came here to do. So I'll catch back up with you when something interesting is happening. See you in a minute. Right, as you can see from the inside of my brolly, as I've just noticed in the camera, there's ice forming on the inside. This has got an overwrap on, bearing in mind, and there's ice forming on the inside of my brolly. That just puts into perspective how cold it is. The lake's still frozen over, everything's been coated in a layer of ice, and it's just mist. I could see straight across the lake, as noted whether you saw on the camera earlier when I was casting in. They kept hitting the bank, but I could see straight across the lake with these. Now, there's a little island probably 20 yards in front of me. Can't see, I can barely, right now, can't see out my door. There's that much mist, it's horrendous. But to lighten the mood, got some more cheesy oat cakes. About to throw them on the Ridge Monkey, have some of them, bit of brown sauce warm me up. It's currently 10:30 as I'm sitting here, and it's absolutely freezing. You see behind me there is a lot more ice on the inside of my brolly, and I've just checked the weather forecast and it says it's 2 degrees, and I don't know how it says that when there's clearly ice behind me, so it must be 0, -1, or maybe it just be the wind that's causing it to freeze, the breeze. But I don't know why it's freezing if it says it's 2 degrees. But I've had some oatcakes, I've had a cup of tea, just been sitting here watching a bit of YouTube. I haven't heard any fish or anything crash, to be honest. The mist has started to lift slightly, but only a little bit. So I can see just about to the island now, but if I switch my light on I can't see. It's just with my eyes, like night vision in your eyes. But if that makes any sense. But I'm going to go to sleep now. Hopefully get up for about 7:30, get a time lapse of the sun coming up, which should be quite good. And see what the night has to bring us, because we've got plenty of time. And hopefully at some point we can catch fish, which would be a massive bonus. My line was frozen into the water. Jesus Christ. And I think we might have something on the end. It's not half cold, you know. This is where it's a bream. We'll have to go. Oh no, it's a little carp. This ice is frozen over a bit closer in. Oh god. So it does not make it nice playing in the fish. Everything's just frozen. I don't want it crossing the line. And it's in the net. Come on. First fish. Get this out and give you a look. That's amazing. Right, well, I don't know what happened to the focus there. I don't think it focused. I can have a look back at the footage in a second, see what happened. Worst comes worst, got the audio. But we've got a fish in the net now, which is absolutely amazing. So go and get it out and give you a look. And yeah, it's a nice common, so I don't know how well the mouth is, if it's as nice and clean as the other fish, but we've got a fish in the net, that's the main thing. Let's get it out now. I know this new sling looks a bit big, like it might weigh a bit. I'm going to wait now, and I'll knock off the weight and of the sling when I've let the fish go, and I'll tell you the true weight after. Zeros are scaled for the sling. That brings the total weight with the sling up to 1310. I'm going to have to knock that off because it's my first time using it, and I don't know what the actual weight of the sling when it's wet by itself is. Stick some water over it. There we go. It's a bit cold, that water. Hey, hey, roll back over. Come on. Oh, there we go. And we'll add some fish care, fish safe, antifungal, antibacterial stuff for its mouth. It is where the hook's been. It is a shame because the mouth, as it is, there we go. Because the mouth, as it is, it's got quite a bit of a parrot mouth, which is a shame. But nevertheless, we can put some antifungal on, just do the best care we can do for the fish on the bank. So, let's get it out. And there we have it. Take a look at that beautiful 10 or 11 pound common. It's a shame that it's got a parrot mouth. There's nothing really much, it's just remote for fishing to some extent where people have caught it. Just one of the things that happen alongside with fishing. I put fish care on it, I've taken the best care of the fish I can, and it's just one of the sides of fishing. But it's a beautiful fish nonetheless. It's got a scale or two missing on that side, I'm pretty sure. I can't really tell from where I am. But it's the second fish of 2020, beautiful common. We'll get it back, get a photo with it. Take a look at that beauty. Right, morning guys, it's coming about 8 o'clock, and first thing I'm going to do, recast my left hand rod because the lake was frozen up to the edge of the peg and I couldn't cast back in. Because if I cast it in, the line would have been sitting on the ice and it wouldn't be very good, it wouldn't work. So recast that in, throw a bit more bait in, and just been watching the lake, nothing much has been happening. The ice has seemed to thawing and going back, but there's just a very thin layer on top, which will probably be gone by the end of the day. But it's just there at the moment, which is stopping me casting out to it. It went, after we had that fish, it warmed up quite a bit, which is good. So there's always chances for another bite here. We've got about 3-4 hours left. So I'm going to get this rod in, get me breakfast on, and fingers crossed we can have some fish. Right guys, as you can probably see behind me, a lot of the lake has defrosted now. So the island behind me is finally defrosted past the island. So I'm going to whack one of the rods up to that where the fish could be sheltering. Going to do it on the way that's blocking the wind because I think the fish might be hauled up underneath that or behind it or wherever. So hopefully that'll get us a fish. The sun's just come out. We've had quite a bit of rain, quite heavy as well for the past probably 15-20 minutes, but weather's turned around a bit now, so we might be in for a fish. I'm going to recast that rod, try and fling a bit more bait out if the wind doesn't take my sweet corn away, and hopefully we can have a fish from there. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the fishing session, but we had one beautiful little common carp. It was a shame that it was a parrot mouth, but still nice to catch a fish throughout the winter. No matter what the size, it's just nice to have a fish out on the bank, especially when it's that cold, because the lake was completely frozen over. Didn't think I'd get anything because it was that cold. I expected to wake up and it'd be white over, but it's warmed up a bit now. There's no ice left on the lake. It's melted within the last hour, and yeah, it started to dry up a bit, honestly. The sun's come out a bit and it's gone quite nice. But we had a beautiful sunset last night as well, so it's been an amazing session. Really nice to try a different fishing location and get out on the bank. Really glad I took the opportunity whilst my local lake was frozen over. So yeah, it's been a great session. So as always, this is Matt Catches signing out, and I'll see you in the next video.